Hey guys, Berkut Motorcycles here. Today I'm going to be giving you a quick little tutorial on how to change your oil. This will apply to most motorcycles, but keep in mind that some of the stuff that I tell you in this video applies specifically to the CB500 series of bikes. Now I assume that a lot of Honda bikes are similar, especially the sport bikes with things where the location is and things of that nature. But the overall principle, like I just said, will apply. Just make sure that you keep in mind that a couple things like the oil type are specific to this particular bike. So first off, you're going to obviously need some oil. Now, in my bike, I put in Lucas Oil 10W30, fully synthetic. I'm going to tell you this right now. Synthetic oil, it costs a lot, well not a lot more, but it costs a considerable amount more than conventional or semi-synthetic. But I tell you that that fully synthetic oil is definitely worth the extra cost. The bike runs much smoother, everything about it is frankly better. Now, one thing that I will tell you though about whenever you buy your oil, make sure that it's specific oil for motorcycles. If it has energy conservation or something of that nature on the bottle, it's not for a bike. Make sure you use dedicated motorcycle oil, especially if you have a wet clutch, because you will screw up your bike and you don't want to be paying for a new clutch because you screwed up. Second, you're going to want to get a little funnel. This one cost me $1 at O'Reilly Auto Parts, and also this oil cost me about 10 bucks a quart. I know I probably overpaid for it. I could have gotten it for cheaper. Sorry, my garage light just went off. But I just recommend you pay the extra money, get the full synthetic, and enjoy your ride. Next, what you're going to want is to get an oil drain container. Now, don't get this massive 16 quart one like I did. I made a mistake because, believe it or not, this is actually too tall to fit underneath my motorcycle. And lastly, and this is another thing that's specific for the CB500R, is you're going to want to get some tools, and in specific, you're going to need a 12mm socket. And also, what I'd also recommend you guys get is a pair of locking pliers, not vice grips, but I forget what it's called. I'm going to go not grab a pair because I'm too lazy. But you'll see it on the next part exactly what I'm talking about. Make sure you have those because the oil filters on these 500s, every form that I've been on, every single one of them has said that these oil filters are put on way too tight and they're extremely hard to get off. Alright, so guys, once you're under the bike and you've placed your oil drain container underneath your motorcycle, you're going to want to empty your oil. Now keep in mind that before you do this step, make sure you let your engine run for 3 to 5 minutes or until the engine is warm, because otherwise the old oil will be stuck inside your bike, and that is not a good thing whenever you want brand new oil. So this drain, right, this little bolt right here, see the camera will focus, this one right here, that is a 12mm bolt, and so you're going to want to use a 12mm socket to remove that. And also make sure that you get a crusher washer. I believe it's a M12. I just bought a packet of M12 through 20 because I couldn't find a specific answer. I put a plastic one on there. Make sure if you do use plastic, don't tighten it down too hard, because that will not help you with regards to leaks, because the crusher washer is meant to be a seal and prevent any further leaks from happening to your bike. So once you take that off, make sure you let your oil drain into your handy-dandy drain container. And make sure also make sure that you stand your bike up, either using a rear stand, which you should do, or do what I did and just stand it up and wait for the oil to drain. All right, and for the next step, you're going to want to replace your oil filter. Make sure you do this after you drain the engine of all the oil. I don't know if there's any specific order, but I've always done it this way. Make sure you have your oil catcher container below your motorcycle once again as you take off the filter. Now, keep in mind that this is not the original filter. The original filter I needed to use the pliers that I described, and there should be a picture in the first clip. Now make sure that you wipe down your exhaust after you drain this off, and also after you apply the new filter. I recommend using a K&N filter because they have the bolt on and off. It's a lot simpler than having to risk the fiasco with the stock filter. And also I recommend filling the oil filter with oil just to make sure that your engine doesn't have a dry run at all. You can do it, but it's not really the best thing to do to your bike. So for one of your last steps for changing the oil on your motorcycle, you're actually going to want to put new oil inside your bike. In order to do this, you're going to remove the engine oil fill cap. Place your funnel in the hole left by the cap, and then slowly add oil, keeping track and making sure that that you are not overfilling or underfilling. Now make sure that you only measure the oil while standing the bike up. This is where things get really tricky if you don't have a rear stand, because, sorry, my left hand is not very good at screwing things on properly. Where it's very good to have a rear stand, because you don't want to have to stand your bike up using only one handlebar, because you risk dropping the bike on yourself, which is not a very fun experience. Now make sure that you also only measure the oil. I already said that, but after the oil is somewhere near the top fill line, right about here, make sure you run the bike for a couple minutes, and then check the oil again after about 2-3 minutes, and then add as necessary. Now keep in mind that on all the forums that I've seen, and this is also my personal experience, you'll probably, if you have a CBR500, you'll probably be left with exactly 8 ounces of oil left. So if you're under that, you probably want to make sure that you double check and make sure that you didn't underfill your bike, because underfilling your bike's engine oil is never a good thing. So once you're done changing your oil, make sure that everything's all tightened up and feel free to go ride. I hope you enjoyed this short little oil change tutorial. As always, leave a like, leave a comment if you want to. Tell me if what you think I can do better, if you thought I did a good job. And also, please subscribe. It really helps me out a lot, gaining visibility. And also, I know I've said this however many times in the past on the channel, but I'm finally getting into a good financial situation where I'm hoping to be able to buy a action camera of some sort. I'm probably going to go with the Sena 10C. I know the camera quality isn't the best, but from what I've seen and heard, it's one of the simpler setups to work with. It's all in one, and also I'll be able to get into Sena in with the deal as well, which I really want to get. So hopefully I'll be able to get that within the next month or so. I've got school starting up at the end of August, so if I can get the Sena before then, I'll be able to let you guys ride with me into school every single day. So anyways guys, as always, ride safe and have a nice day.